1. The Aztec Empire, human sacrifice, and the Tlachtli game. The Aztecs believed that human sacrifice was necessary to keep the sun moving across the sky and to appease their gods. Priests would perform elaborate sacrificial rituals on temple pyramids, removing the hearts of living captives in front of thousands of onlookers. One of the most eerie aspects was that some victims were chosen based on their performance in the Tlachtli ball game, a brutal sport resembling a mix of soccer and basketball. Losing could mean being sacrificed to the gods, making it a high-stakes game where the consequences went far beyond victory or defeat. 2. The Roman Empire, Saturnalia, chaos, and role reversal. The Romans celebrated Saturnalia, an ancient festival where all social norms were turned upside down. During this week-long celebration, slaves and masters would switch roles, with slaves dining in the place of their masters and wearing their clothes. Normal rules of conduct were suspended, with public drunkenness, gambling, and other excesses encouraged. The festival served as a way to blow off steam, but it was also a ritual of controlled chaos, meant to appease Saturn, the god of time and agriculture, and reset societal order. 3. The Inca Empire, Capacocha sacrifice of children. In Incan society, one of the most solemn rituals was the Capacocha, a practice where children, considered the purest members of society, were sacrificed to the gods. These children, often from noble families, were taken to high mountain peaks, where priests would perform sacred rites and leave them as offerings. Some of these children were left to die from exposure, and their frozen bodies were preserved in the high-altitude cold. The Incas believed this was necessary to ensure the gods' favor and protect their empire from natural disasters. 4. The Egyptian Empire, servant sacrifice for pharaoh's afterlife. Ancient Egyptians believed that the pharaohs were divine beings who required servants in the afterlife. In the early dynasties, they practiced a ritual called retainer sacrifice. When a pharaoh died, loyal servants and attendants were buried alive or killed to accompany him to the afterlife. This gruesome practice ensured that the pharaoh would have a full retinue of attendants in his journey beyond death. Later, this practice was replaced by Shabti statues that symbolically represented servants, but the ritual itself remained etched in Egyptian history. 5. The Viking Empire, the Blood Eagle execution. The Vikings, known for their warrior culture, performed a brutal execution method known as the Blood Eagle, a ritual saved for their most hated enemies. The condemned person's back would be cut open and their ribs cracked away from the spine, exposing the lungs, which were then pulled out to resemble wings. This grisly punishment was meant to honor Odin, the god of war, and to send a message to their enemies. Though historians debate how frequently this ritual was practiced, it remains one of the most terrifying rituals attributed to Viking culture.